sorry, little buddy. Not that little. I'll do better, I promise. Because dudes, our package is precious to us, right? We want to make sure that we do everything we can to enhance its ability to be amazing, right? Unfortunately, there's some very common things that we do that are absolutely destroying and damaging Big Al and the boys' ability to be Big Al and the boys. So the first reason and thing that you're doing that is causing Big Al to get smaller is actually gaining weight, body fat, right? The fatter we get, the heavier we are, the smaller our Big Al actually becomes. Now, technically, he's not shrinking, but our ability to see it actually is. Let me see if I can explain this a little better. Think of this as Big Al. Boom, there's your body, right? As you gain weight, look what happens to Al. Exactly. Your body pushes out, making Al a teeny weeny. As you lose weight, woo, look what happens exactly. You're exposing Al's natural girth and length. Number two, the second reason why your balls are going to become little teeny, eeny, weeny, bitty balls is because you are taking TRT or any type of anabolic substance that you do not technically need. Now, let me just say this. If you need TRT, if your testosterone levels are low, then cool, do it because it's going to make you feel amazing, better, and awesome. But if you're doing it and taking it just so that you can have bigger biceps, unfortunately, your biceps might grow, but your balls will shrink. Your balls are little geniuses, right? All day they're thinking they're working, right? Producing testosterone, that amazing man juice that we need. Unfortunately, if you're giving your body excess, your balls, they're super smart, right? They're like, yo, you're going to give me extra. I don't technically need to work so hard, so I'm just going to shrink. I'm going to shrivel. Now, hopefully when you go off of the TRT or testosterone, they come back to life and they're like, okay, I'm ready, baby. Let's do this. Unfortunately, a lot of times they won't, and they will unfortunately not be the balls that you need them to be, which is awesome little geniuses. You're not drinking enough water. You're dehydrated. Research has shown that dudes that are dehydrated actually have smaller Als. And the reason is pretty simple. You don't have as much blood that is flowing through your body when you actually are dehydrated. The lower amount of blood that you have in your body is reducing the amount of blood that goes to your main veins. Speaking of veins, gentlemen, the fourth reason why your Big Al is actually getting smaller is that you smoke weed or cigarettes. Nicotine is a vasoconstrictor as opposed to a vasodilator, which is why you would want to take something like L-arginine or L-citrulline, something that's going to actually increase the amount of nitric oxide that you take in, because that is actually a vasodilator, which means you're going to have the ability to get bigger, harder, firmer, Big Al action. But nicotine, vasoconstrictor, which means the veins are smaller, not allowing as much blood to enter the chamber of awesomeness. But if you're a stoner, you're not off the hook, right? Because research has shown that marijuana actually reduces the amount of sperm, healthy swimming sperm that you're actually going to be producing. The other downside to smoking weed is that when you're high, you get the munchies and you're not eating boiled chicken breast and steamed broccoli, right? You're eating junk food. You're eating crap, right? You're eating crap food, and you're also not moving because you're lazy, which means you're going to gain weight. And like we talked about, when you get chubby, Big Al gets smaller. Unless, of course, you're cool rocking a baby carrot. If that's the case, then proceed with the weed. The next reason why your package is puny is that you are wearing the wrong underwear. Now, it's not just tighty whities. Now, everybody knows that these aren't good. Why? Because they're cotton. They get stretched out. They don't offer much support at all. Boxers, horrible, zero support. And boxer briefs, unfortunately, if they are a standard boxer brief, they once again are going to be too tight. You need something that offers support, separation, and sexiness. Which is why Sheath are the only underwear that touches my Big Al and the boys. They offer support, separation, and sexiness, all in one super badass, amazingly comfortable, sexy design. Guys, the reason why Sheath are so amazing and recommended by doctors and urologists is because of the inside, right? That is where the magic happens. Check it out. Inside, there's a little pouch where the boys go, and then there's a hole that you actually stick Big Al through. It's a dual chamber design, which means you're going to offer the boys support, but you're going to separate the twig from the berries, which will keep you drier, more comfortable, less stinky, and more hygienic. You see, Sheath was developed by my friend Robert. See, Robert was a soldier, and he was over in like the desert, right? And all day he's tramping around. It's hot, right? What happened? He started to get irritated, super chafed, and he's like, yo, this is super uncomfortable. There's got to be a better way. So he starts experimenting, cutting up socks with like shoestrings and duct tape or whatever. And what he realized that if you separate Big Al from the boys, you actually are going to stay drier, you're going to sweat less, you're not going to chafe, and you're going to smell amazing. You also are going to look gigantic, because that's what happens in one of the amazing byproducts of rocking Sheath. Because you're separating situated in those two chambers, you literally look like a king. And if you have not tried a pair of sheath underwear, there is no better time, because right now there's a special link down below that's going to give you 20% off of your order. These underwear are the most comfortable, the most stylish, and sexiest underwear on the market, guys. They've got over 20,000 five-star reviews. It's not just my opinion. These underwear literally have changed the game. I'm going to link to them down below. That link is special. If you go through our link, like I said, you're going to get 20% off your entire order while supplies last, because that's the thing. They've got a lot of really badass, sexy designs, right? Here's one that I recently got that was camo. I've got a thing for camo, and these were kind of sexy. But the standard sheath underwear, the blacks, the grays, the whites, they've got a ton of different designs, a ton of cool, badass colors, different lengths. If you're in the market to treat your boys to the best, hit the link down below. Like I said, that link is special. It's going to give you 20% off of the best underwear on the market. Guys, don't you love your Big Al and the boys? If the answer is yes, hit the link. If the answer is no, I don't really love it, you're lying or you're not a dude. Bottom line, that discount code will work for you. 20% off. The discount will apply at checkout. Go get them, because these underwear are the best. The next reason why your Big Al isn't all like, what, is because you're not using them enough. Hear that? Yeah, exactly. Rock solid, gentlemen. If you want your Big Al to be more hard, more firm, you gotta use it. Gentlemen, you've heard the old adage, oh shit, my dick fell. Sorry, buddy. He fell. Anyway, here's the deal. You've heard the old adage, use it or lose it, right? Well, if you're not using it, you don't have the ability to fill it with blood. You need to routinely fill Big Al with blood, stretch him out with blood and all that, right? In order for him to be good and big and strong and sexy. But if you're all like, yo, I'm no fapping it, I'm not, I'm Yoda, I'm Zen, right? Unfortunately, you might be Zen, you might be able to see through walls, but unfortunately, Big Al, never gonna be solid. Beer. The next reason why Big Al isn't as rock solid as possible. All right, now there are a few reasons for this. All right, number one, phytoestrogens. All right, hops, phytoestrogen, estrogen, not good for strong, hard Als, right? Also, things like soy, things that increase estrogen levels in dudes actually is not super great for rock solid stuff, right? But when you consume too much, either beer or alcohol or whatever, right, whiskey, Al happens, right? Because the connection, the mind-body connection gets stifled, stunted, and so Al can't do what he does, which is get up. Anybody who's ever tried to like get action with like a semi-Al, you know that it's kind of like trying to jam a stick of butter into a light socket. It doesn't work. Just like, it's just kind of like, it's not good for anyone, gentlemen. Something else it's not good for anybody is high blood pressure. If you're somebody that has high blood pressure, you could be experiencing some issues with Al, whether or not it's getting him erect or staying erect, or just in general, like him being able to do what he does. Unfortunately, guys, this is something that is kind of like a check engine light. If you are experiencing any form of ED, this means that something is going on with your body. And so what I'd recommend is going to the doctor. Make sure that your heart is good. Make sure that your blood pressure is solid to make sure that Al is solid. The bottom line is this. If you want your Als to be big, strong, and sexy, you got to make sure you are healthy. You got to make sure you're eating a healthy diet. And you got to make sure you're not wearing whack-ass underwear. Gentlemen, hit the link down below. Check out Sheath. Not only are they the best of the best that I wear, and soon your Big Al's gonna be like, yo, Brian, thanks for hooking me up. let me try that again. Ready? Hooking me up.